So you have a great portfolio prepared. You always need to bring the resume, so it's something that you need to have prepared and update all the time. But there are several things. So let me break this down. There, like a biography is sometimes asked, but you won't really need that to apply for a job. It's about your whole life, like when you have that big retrospective at the moment and you write, you have like a page about you, you have an exhibition, that would be your biography, how you grew up and where you were born and so on. For the job, you need the resume. It's just the facts and skills that you have, the education. And the CV, the curriculum vitae, is more of a life spanning all the awards, the publications, and doctor titles that you achieved. So at your part of your life right now, I think the resume is the most appropriate, and keep it to one page because we don't have time to read that much, and keep it relatively simple. Since you're all designers, it should be designed somewhat cool, than just use a template that you can grab from any website. I think it's just super boring to look at. I wouldn't even consider that to hire as a graphic designer. Here's another one that's a kind of cool breakdown, cool graphic elements. I don't know if you have to write resume because it's kind of obvious. I think that the name needs to be clear. Obviously, that's in the most easy to see. This one's also an old co-worker of mine. It's very she was applying for sort of an architecture job, so you can see it's very clean and easy to read. What you should really look out for is that it's easy to find your name and contact information. Sometimes people get so busy perfecting all the information that they forget to update their most current contact information. And if you don't have that much experience at this point of your life, don't write that you maybe if you worked at a Baskin Robbins, you're the ice cream scooper, but that you would write down as a service manager job, not as the ice cream scooper. I had that before too. But other skills that you have are mostly soft skills also, that you have content management, or so you probably want to base your resume on a skill, concentrate on those instead of the experience that could be below that. The order is up to you though, it can change. And there are other general skills that you might have, like I was saying, soft skills, like communication skills, problem solving skills. And if you ever updated some website, it would be content management skills. So to list Word as a program and the skills, I think it's kind of silly. You can use a computer, I think it's kind of expected. So if you do have special skills, like you have an architectural drawing program that's really difficult to learn, or a 3D program, or the Adobe Suite, something that's expected. But it's good to list those as skills. You don't need to list every Adobe skills program that you ever opened. It's kind of a general thing. If you want to look at skills, for example, I thought it would be a good idea to look at some of those headhunter recruiter websites and what they ask for. They have a whole list of skills that you can click on. So you get some ideas of what skills are out there in the industry that you could look at. So I took some screenshots of those just to get ideas to Google what are skills that are looked for in this industry. So you should use those skills, and somehow also language skills are good. Yeah, education here. Then you might have some skills that you didn't think of that other employees are really looking for right now. Social media skills, very important. Then also we all took the UX UI class, very important, listed. Coding, if you're really good, if you were some good, just listed anyway. HTML, CSS, and then content management as well if you have a blog or so. I think right now very important to get yourself on the radar with that. And I'd done this myself, that I would list an old email that I don't regularly check. So if you have the Pratt email, I think you can have it for life, it's okay. But you might want to just set yourself up with a Gmail address that you don't change, because if you keep changing your email, I had job replies that wanted to hire me Andy wrote to an email that was old, and I didn't see it until the day before the job was starting. The manager called me like, "Oh, did you see our message? We really wanted to start working on this project." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even check that email." So make sure that your email that you're listing there is in good shape. Most people will print out your resume on their laser printers, so there will be a small margin around the page that won't print, and at the bottom it's often even larger. So make sure that all your text is in very good safety, that nothing gets cut off if they print it out on their laser printer, and that it also looks good in black and white. And here, this is really also important. I had this many times before, and my boss hated it, to print out an inverted, like black resume. And then the toner is all over their hands and it smudges. So make sure that like you consider how it would look when they print this out on a really cheap and messy printer. You have about I think even, like they say 6 to 7 seconds, but I think it's even less when you look through hundreds of resumes, and that's not even the boss that looks through it, it's their assistant that prepares it for them. But if you cannot stand out within that time, and your resume doesn't like obviously look better than the rest of this pile, then I think you lost your first impression there. As a graphic designer especially, you should have something that looks good. Here's a good example. I think it's really pretty. I would have flipped the photo of him so that he looks into the page. Otherwise it looks kind of like shy, like he's not want to look at his own stuff. This is cool, also really bold, shows your creative kind of, and will print fine on black and white as well. These info resumes are pretty popular these days. I don't know how nice this one would print in black and white because of the yellow background. It will become this kind of a gray, smudgy thing. But these days we do send them out mostly online, so you can actually like did here, Harrison did an interactive, absolutely useless because you can't really read it, but it's cool. It shows his skills, and maybe the way his personality works is that quirky kind of thing. So I think it's still successful for just that wow effect that he's having there. Don't do this because I don't have 3 days to read any of this, and if you're only 19, I don't believe that this is valid enough to list that much, because otherwise it will just like end up maybe like this. Hopefully not. We'll make sure that your resumes all look really super solid and will impress everybody that looks at them in 3 seconds. Okay.